Welcome back to some more creepy and disturbing TikToks that'll make you question your reality. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Let's check them out.
So apparently there's a thing called the Dybbuk box, which is one of the most haunted items in the world. So we took the glass case off of the Dybbuk box, and he thought it was a sick idea to put the ashes of a lady who died while she was possessed on top. And then my plane almost crashed. I was in a car accident. My house got robbed and I had bite marks on my arm. And he hit the wall like I've never seen someone in fear so hard as whenever he touched it. I don't know if it's someone who's dead or if it's a demon or if it's something dimensional, but it's something there that goes bump in the night, I suppose. Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't not believe in ghosts. I've never experienced a ghost.
Ghosts are real, but I can't explain it.
They might be,
but I don't know if it's a ghost.
Here's the thing about ghosts. There's so many stories of them. Now, is it because people are just scared and their senses are on heightened alert and they see things that aren't really there? That could be it.
Y'all gonna learn to stop playing around with this stuff, man. You know what I mean? And I get the whole, you could be so scared that your mind creates this illusion that you think is a ghost, or it creates this paranormal being or something like that it creates. I get that. Your mind has a way of playing tricks on you. You know what I mean? They made a whole song about it. My mind playing tricks on me. But y'all gonna learn to stop playing around with this stuff, man, and take this stuff seriously. Did you hear what happened to him after they messed around with that Dybbuk box or whatever he called it, demon box or whatever? Like all that stuff. What after that happens? What are you gonna say? You gonna point back to that moment in time where you were like, man, you wish you could go back, but you can't. You can't. Like, yo, y'all gotta chill, man. And I feel like the whole wave of people doing this type of stuff is growing by the day, man. It is growing. You can't you see it everywhere. All you gotta type in is like paranormal investigations and stuff like that, or paranormal this or something like that, and it'll pull up and somebody's either ordering some crazed thing offline or they're doing something. And it's like you're inviting this stuff into your home, into your spirit, into your world. Like, y'all gotta chill and stop this stuff, man. This stuff is serious.
If you are into paranormal or conspiracy TikToks, watch this. This is the story of how I saw demons and I was followed by demons when I was a kid. So my family and these two other people owned like this farm area with loads of horses in it. And there was a big hill going down of grass. There was nothing around the farm for miles and miles and miles. And at the very bottom of the hill there was a big lake which I loved to play at. And I often used to bring my friends to the farm because it was like cool, I had horses, whatever. And one day I was playing down there with my friend and I looked up from the lake because we were like looking for fish or something. And I saw this man and he was completely black, like pitch black, and he had no face, no clothes, and he was just hovering above the lake. And I was so terrified and I told my friend like, let's run. And we ran all the way back up to the barn to my mom. And my mom went down there trying to like kick some guys with her boyfriend, and there was no one down there, she didn't find anyone. And then she told us just stay by the barns, just play up. So I went over to play by the baby cows. We had a lot of baby cows and they were so cute. And we were playing with them and there was a lot of black hay bales like outside. And I was looking in between them because I had this really eerie feeling. There was so much wind, there was a storm coming, my parents were getting ready to leave. And I looked and this man was in the hay bale. And there was like a big walkway. And he was stood in there staring at us. So I said to my friend, let's go, the shadow man's back. And we ran and we got back to my mom and I went back to my house. Anyway, a couple weeks later, I was with my other friend in my house. My house was like the spot for my friends. I had the biggest house out of all my friends growing up. Not anymore though. And everyone would just come to my house. It was like the base. And I was with one of my friends in the very top floor of our house. And the top floor of our house had been converted because my mom wanted an art studio in there. And we had got an art studio in there. But there was this tiny little hole in the wall, and we had terraced houses, okay? So each house was connected to each other. But no one else in the entire row of houses that we lived in had another converted top floor. They couldn't even store anything in there. It would fall down if they did. So it was only us. And I was up there with my friend, and I was like, oh, I dare you to look inside the hole. And she was like, no, wait, no. So my dumb ass did. And I looked in there, and I was shining like a light, and I put my eyeball in there. And there was an eyeball staring back at me. And I fell off the stool that I was stood on. I was like, I'm gonna go, there's someone looking in there. I was like, there's an eyeball in there, and I ran away and I left my friend. Anyway, we were downstairs, hiding downstairs, and we were in the living room. There was a couch. The living room was here, there's a hallway here, stairs going upstairs to the first floor there. So we were hiding in the living room. My mom was not at home. I don't remember where she was. She was like doing grocery shopping or something. And I looked like out of the couch to the hallway, and this shadow man was stood there looking at us, watching us. And as soon as I saw him, he ran and he went up the stairs. Like, not ran, like floated. And that was the last time I ever saw him. But this experience was scary. If you have a similar experience, let me know. If you were into
I wonder if they still live there. Or she might have said it. I might have just don't remember, misremember. Wonder if they still live there. And if they don't live there, anybody. See, sometimes what you gotta do, man, is go back and see. If you had like in a house you were growing up in and stuff like that, and you had like paranormal and scary and ghost experiences and stuff like that, when you get older, go back to that house. Be respectful, knock on the door, ask politely, don't try to scare them, don't come off a certain type of way. And if somebody's living there, knock on the door and just say, hey, I used to live here growing up. Can I ask you guys a few questions? And ask them, have they ever experienced, or has any of their kids experienced any of the experiences you had growing up? You'd be surprised. You may come across them being like, yes, our kid has been telling us that such and such. They've been seeing this shadow man or whatever she was seeing. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes we gotta go back, bro, and see. And that'll answer the questions of whether or not we were crazy. Were we crazy? Was there something wrong with us, or were we really experiencing something? That'll also let you know if it was the house, maybe something in the house or around the house or under the house that the house is buried on. I think that's a thing as well, man. This land has been around for a long, long time. So it could be buried on top of something that we don't know about. So, man, sometimes you gotta go back, bro. Ask those questions, see. And then if they'd be like, nah, nothing's ever happened. Then you got to question, is this thing following you? Is it still with you after all these years? You just ain't seen it in a long time?
I don't know if you guys know this, but like babies, when they're little, this is like a superstition thing. Like if you're going by a river and you take your baby, like when you leave, you have to yell out your baby's name. Like, oh, ya vente, blah, 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 like whatever. Because I guess like the river takes babies' souls.
What? I never heard that before.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
I never
Really?
heard that. I ain't never taken my son
That's-
to no stuff. I was just about to take him like continue the tradition. No, never mind.
Just yell his name.
You're going to the pool, public pool.
I kind of wish I could unhear that now. You know what I mean? Certain things you hear, you be like, why did I have to hear that? Now the next time I go past the river, I'm going to be like shouting out my youngest kid's name just to make sure, or you know what I mean? Or if you got a baby with you, now you're going to be worried, you're going to be paranoid, you're going to be thinking about things. Superstitions, urban legends and stuff like that. Sometimes you wish you could just go without hearing them. Have y'all ever heard this? Anybody else ever heard this? Because this is the first time I ever heard that one. Let me know in the comment section, bro. That one, that there, that's different. That's different. I'll be trying. If I have an infant or a small baby, yeah, I wouldn't be going past no rivers after hearing that.
Okay, tell me a story about something that you cannot explain.
Yeah, so my first disclaimer is that I practice hoodoo. And if you don't know what hoodoo is, it's the traditional African American practice of venerating the ancestors. So I, in general, have a belief that the ancestors have ways of speaking to us. But that said, it still be flipping me the gal when it comes through in very undeniable ways. So the lily is known in my family as my grandmother's flower. It's even been said in May near her birthday that lilies bloom outside of her old home that is still in my family. And in line with my practice of hoodoo, I also believe in cultivating a relationship with plants, the planets, just the world around us. So something that I do, I venerate Venus. And I do this by every Friday, or I don't do this often as I used to. But theoretically, every Friday, which Friday is Venus Day, I give roses to show reverence to Venus and myself. Self-love energy. Every week, every Friday, without fail. Except this one week, I brought home my roses and I didn't have a place to put them, so I took a vase off of my ancestor altar. People in hoodoo have ancestor altars. This vase was water for the ancestors, but I'm like, yeah, I need some I need some place to put my roses. So I took the vase from the altar and I put my roses in the vase. And when I woke the next day, 4 of my 12 roses were red lilies. And I'm like, I have lost my god mind. And I'm going through the bouquet and I'm like, what? Like, did I get the wrong thing? Is this wrong? And then I go back to the store, and then the section that I got my bouquet from, it's in the whole wall. It's all roses. And I'm searching the flower shop, and I'm like, do you have mixed bouquets of roses and lilies? They're like, no. In fact, the only lilies we have are white. So they don't even sell red lilies. And I go home, and I'm like, what? I don't know what's happening. And I go back to bed. Next day, I wake up, and 6 of the 12 roses are now lilies. I send pictures and videos of this to my friend Maddie, who prompted me to tell the story. We're both freaking out. And then I remember that one of my late great cousins wrote a book about the meanings of lilies. Because again, lilies are very important to my family history, and specifically my grandmother. Like, there's a Bible verse, scripture, meaning, lesson, spiritual lesson for every single color of lily. And I look up the lily that is now in my bouquet. And I won't share what the message was, but it was a clear message from my grandmother.
Okay, tell me a story about.
Okay, I can respect that. I was about to say, you gonna bring us this far and then drop us off a cliff like that and not give us the message or what that meant? Like, don't do us like that. But I respect that. That was from your grandma. And it seemed like grandma was a little bit irritated when you brought those roses in and took the water. What is it? The spirit water or whatever. She claimed. No disrespect, first of all. Let me say that. I don't want to disrespect the water, but yeah, like, how do you get into this type of stuff? You know what I mean? Is it passed down through generation and stuff like that? Fellas, imagine dating a girl like that. I mean, you meet her at a club one night, y'all vibing, you thinking, yo, she's like just this down to earth type vibe. She got like some universal vibes going on with her. You know what I mean? You know how we profile and classify them when we looking at them in a club or somewhere, at a hookah shop or somewhere nowadays. And you're like, oh man, she seems cool. She seems real vibey. Like, yeah, like the earth tone she giving out. And you get back to her home and y'all chilling and y'all start dating. You come over one day and you learn this story. What are y'all doing after that, fellas? I don't know if I can stick around. That's crazy, man. You looking over your shoulder, you talking about vases with this type of water in it, grandma lilies, and you practice what? No. I'm gonna have to, we can't even be friends. Normally you'd be like, man, can we just be friends? This ain't gonna work out. No. We can't even be friends, Joey. You scared me. You scared me. Like, could you imagine rolling over and waking up to her looking at you in the middle of the night? Heck no, man, no.
This is probably the craziest one. I don't even know if I should be saying this one. This one's kind of like,
okay, then don't.
Personal.
Okay, then don't.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. My aunt, she came home really late after work, and then she went to go heat up food. Right? She went to the fridge, put it in the microwave. Okay, turns it on. Beep beep. When she goes to wash her, she went to like go change or whatever.
Yeah.
She came back to check on her food when it was done, and she goes up to the microwave. She sees 2 little baby shoes like towards the microwave.
Wait, what do you mean?
No, toward, like facing towards the microwave.
On the
floor.
ground?
Like she walks towards the microwave, and she sees 2 baby shoes like facing towards the microwave. Bro, now listen. As she sees these 2 baby shoes, like dead, a ball starts rolling towards it.
Yeah. No. 2 baby shoes just came out of nowhere facing it. No. I don't even want that food anymore. Somebody else wanted it way more than me. It can have it. I'm gonna eat out. And when I go eat out, I may not come back here. Nah, that's some craziness, man. Like, I've never heard of a story like a creepy microwave situation, kitchen story like that. Nah, and then did you notice the way he was like he was like nervous to read it. No. There's certain stories that you just get a feeling from, yeah, just let that one there die. Let it die down. Hey, little shoes, I'm done. Bye-bye.
You should not overtake this yellow Volkswagen. Deep in Malaysia, along the Carrots Highway, there is a supernatural entity that takes the form of a yellow Volkswagen waiting for its next victim. Legend has it that the driver of the vehicle found out one day that his wife was having an affair and had left with everything that belonged to him. With revenge on his mind, he jumped into his yellow Volkswagen Beetle and sped down the highway in an attempt to find his wife. However, he soon lost control of the vehicle and perished in a horrific car wreck. Well, it is said that till this day, his angry spirit still roams the highway in search of his wife. The yellow Volkswagen is said to appear in front of motorists and will slowly reduce its speed, challenging highway users to overtake. Be careful, because if you do, the yellow Volkswagen will have you trapped, going in loops along the highway, never being able to reach your destination. Now, interestingly enough, people still don't know that.
Yeah, I know that his soul ain't at rest. You passed away doing that, trying to find her. Yeah, that whole road should be just, you know what I mean? They should take away figure out how to cut that whole road off at each end and find an alternate way for people to travel, man. Because his soul is not at rest. Normally you hear stories like that and you're like, oh, okay. But if this is somewhat true and this actually happened, yeah, I would never want to go. And imagine how many people travel down that road and don't even know the history, or, well, for say any road we travel down, know the history, but we should. There should be some kind of way that it pops up on your phone. You should get an alert when you travel down a road and it has like a sick backstory like this. It should pop up on your phone and tell you, hey, before you travel down this road, just know this took place on this road, such and such, such and such. I know it may be a lot, but stuff like this should at least be known to us. Seriously.
Spiritual encounters, the blue eyes. Have you ever run into a spirit that has eyes like this? Let me tell you what happened to me. First incident, driving down the freeway, I'm doing about 55 miles an hour. I'm in the center lane. There's nobody in front of me. There are cars behind me. I look down to change my radio real quick, and when I look up, there's this man standing directly in front of me in the center lane about 50 yards ahead. This guy's wearing jeans, a hoodie over his head with a flannel, but what caught my attention was he had this color eyes. Now I'm coming up on this guy quick. I only have a split second to see what he looks like. I notice another car coming up on the inside lane, so all I can do is slam my brakes and brace. I hear the cars screeching behind me. I look up, dude's gone. When I mean gone, it was like he was never there. Really freaked me out. I got home, told my wife. I just chalked it up like my mind was playing tricks on me, and that was until 2 weeks later when it happened again. This time my wife's in the car with me. We're driving down a completely different road. I'm coming up on an intersection about to make a left-hand turn, so I'm only doing about 10-15 miles an hour. There's a raised yellow median, there's a yellow caution sign, and leaning up on that sign was the same man. And yup, same color eyes, everything, it was him. Immediately I tell my wife, hey, did you see him? And she's like, see who? I was like, the dude from the freeway, he's right there. She looks over her shoulder, she's like, I don't see who you're talking about. So I slow down in the turn, I look around, dude's gone. Like he never existed. This time I'm like, I'm going crazy. I am going crazy. Anyway, we end up driving home. Everything's cool. That was until 1 week later. This time, coming out of the dollar store, I'm walking, there's a big pillar in front of me. The way I gotta go to the parking lot is to the left. This elderly lady starts walking up towards me. She's wearing a mask, but immediately I notice she has the same color eyes. And these are distinct eyes. Now I'm walking closest to the pillar. She has plenty of room to go around me. But does she? She walks right up on me. This lady gets in my face. As I try to step around her, she steps in front of me again. She's not making any sense on the things that she's telling me. All she's saying is, you're in my way, use caution. But then I remembered the caution sign from the previous incident. Now this time, for my own sanity, there was another person out there that was like, hey sir, you okay? And I'm like, I don't know what the hell this lady's problem is. Eventually I was able to yell at her, get around her, and go back to my car. 3 separate incidents, 2 different people, all with the same color eyes. I don't know why, I don't know who they are, but I just wanted to know, has anybody else come across one of these? Let me know, drop a comment.
See, stories like this, these are the type of stories we need to hear, or need people we need to hear from. Because don't this sound like aliens walking around? Now, it also gives vibes of maybe somebody, your guardian angel, trying to warn you. You know what I mean? Especially when I always think about that when it's something that I see, but the people around me that's with me currently, when I see this, they don't see it at all. So it's kind of like it's geared and directed towards me. It's for me only, for my eyes only to see. And it makes me think sometimes, okay, is this a warning? They're reaching out and they're trying to tell me, okay, be careful, caution, caution. You know what I mean? The blue eyes, I don't know. How was he even able to see blue eyes the first time and he was driving down? You know what I mean? How did he see that? That was pretty crazy for him to see, but apparently they made something stand out to where he would notice it and he keeps seeing it. I would definitely try to sit down and try to read up on that a lot, research it a lot if he can. It's gotta be some type of, or someone. I think it's dope he came to TikTok with it and came and put it on social media so that people can respond if they've had similar situations, and then he can get answers from them. I would try to look things up, talk to people about stuff like that. It's gotta mean something, good or bad. I still need to know. You know what I mean? Good or bad, I need to know. That's weird. That's weird.
Number 4, don't ever bring anything back from the beach.
And on that note, I have a story to share. So this story belongs to my mom, and it happened to her after she was done with college, and she was just hanging out with her friends at the beach. So there were really beautiful seashells that she thought were like, oh, this could be very nice to have at home, you know. So she collected some of them, she brought it back home with her. And by the way, this happened in Indonesia. So yeah, you know, she brought it home, and then suddenly, very shortly after, she got high fever. So this went on for a few days, and there was really just no explanation for her to even get sick in the first place. And like one of the days, she had a nightmare. And in this nightmare, she described to me that there was this really, really old looking granny that was asking her to like come and follow her. And she was just standing there like, no, I don't want to follow you. But like, she couldn't break out of the dream, so she was essentially sleep paralyzed. And like, she was crying so hard in the dream, like, I don't want to follow you. But that granny was like, come follow me, come follow me. And she's like, no, I don't want to follow you. And this went on for a while. So once she finally broke out of it, once she finally woke up, she actually cried. She was screaming for her parents. And like, when my grandpa came in, he asked what happened. And then shortly after, my granny came in as well. And she was explaining to them both that like, oh, there was this old lady in my dream that was asking me to follow her, and I really didn't want to. And then my granny was like, what did you bring back home the other day? And so she just said that, oh, I brought home some seashells from the beach the other day. And that was when my granny was like, throw it out now. So lo and behold, they threw it out, and immediately the fever just subsided, and then it was like as if nothing happened. So yeah, I kind of grew up not bringing anything home from the beach because I was just being told specifically not to bring home anything from there. And I guess now I know why.
Number 4.
See how certain things are different for some people and others is not. Like, I grew up, like, even in school, we were all around seashells. I would bring seashells home from the beach all the time. Went through life. Even if I went to the beach to this day, which I'm not a beach fan anymore, but if I would go, I would grab a seashell. If I saw one on the ground, pick it up, play with it. If you find one that's like cool enough, big enough, I would bring it home to this day. I've never had any experience with that. Not to say that that's not the case in his situation. There's no way for me to know. You know what I mean? And everybody has different experiences with things, but I would have totally threw it out if I was them too. Something was, I don't know, something was up with that stuff she grabbed. And does she know if it was really a seashell? Maybe they threw it out before they really had a chance to really look into it and see what it actually was. She could have thought it was a seashell and it was something else. I don't know, man. That's one of those things. Some of y'all got seashells at home right now. Listening to this story, you were able to look at probably in the room you're watching this video with. And and you're like, never did nothing into me. But now that's gonna be in the back of your brain, and every time you pass by that seashell, and don't get sick or anything like that, you really gonna be looking at that seashell from now and thinking, so have I been getting sick all this time because of this? And you're gonna throw it out. So my bad. I had no way of knowing this story was gonna be like this, man. I promise. You know what I mean? But listen, man, y'all get at me in the comment section and let me know what you thought of these stories and these spirits and different things like that, man. Reality is crazy these days. Till the next one, I'm gone. Peace.